So sitting down with Yanez, coach of Racing Louisville, and the first thing we have to talk about is the news that just came out of you staying through the next season. What's that like to be able to stay with the team a little bit longer?
Yeah, no, look, I'm really grateful. I'm really excited. I think a lot of what I spoke about during the process and obviously it getting announced today was I'm so honored to be at a club that respects and honors my authenticity as a leader. And on top of that, the staff that I have a pleasure of working with every day is just such a great fit. They're such good people. This group, in my opinion, is incredibly special. Very good culture right now in the locker room, and obviously very proud of them and all who they are. And I think for me to find that authenticity in this industry, to feel like I'm valued in that authenticity in this industry, and to feel I'm surrounded by great people, not only that are good at their jobs, both as players and as staff, but also just good people. It's an honor, and I don't think that I really fully understood how big of an honor it was until about 2 weeks ago when I unfortunately did have the miscarriage and took some time away to spend it with my family. And it made me reflect a lot on the good in my life. I'm so supported by a loving husband who does so much for me in this industry, being a head coach. I have two beautiful children that were miracles before, but are bigger miracles now. I have a lovely support group. My mother-in-law lives with us during season, helps me with the two children. And being away from the team made me realize how much I love it here. Obviously, under those circumstances was tough, but to have an opportunity to step away and to see in this industry how special it is to want to be back because you enjoy coaching these players, because you enjoy working with this staff, is very special and very unique. And I know this is such a great place for me. And I'm just so thrilled and so grateful.
And so you've been with the team since 2023. How do you think you've evolved as a coach through that time, and how do you think the team has evolved through that time?
Yeah, look, I've evolved as a lot since that time. It feels like a long time ago, but 2023 is not that long ago. But I'm a big believer. I've always been this way as a young kid, as a young footballer, and as a young coach, that you never stop learning. And I'm hopeful that to be in this industry for a long time, and I'm hopeful that I never stop learning. I keep that eagerness about the learning aspect of it because I think if you're teaching and you're educating and you are an instructor and you're a coach, what you're teaching is people to never stop wanting more. That's what you're teaching. And you can't say those things but not act that way as a leader. And I'm a firm believer in that. So I'm constantly asking them to challenge their game, develop their game, hopefully show them areas they're very good in, areas that we feel they can improve in. But ultimately, I need to do the same to myself. What am I good at? What are areas I need to be better at? Who am I surrounding myself around? And I have a very great group in that sense that I feel very confident and comfortable with. And yeah, I'm going to always ask those questions of myself. And I definitely feel like I've evolved a lot in 2 years. And who I am and kind of how I've come into this role. But I hope that never stops.
And you're at the point now where we're heading into the second half of the season, and we're potentially, I'm just going to say it, we're going to go to the playoffs.
I love that from you. I love that from you.
So with that kind of momentum and then coming off of the Women's Cup win, how do you keep that energy moving forward?
Yeah, for sure. Look, I think the group's in a great space. I think the group always wants more. But what I think is that we've really come into an identity this year. I think we're really bought in as a group in that identity. I think we're living out that identity. I think we're causing chaos in that identity. And I think we've gained real momentum towards that tail end of that first half of the season. I think going into the TWC and obviously the break and getting some hardware in that tournament is a big deal. And it helps with momentum coming back into now the second half of the season. Obviously, quality opponent this weekend, quality opponents across the board because this league, in my opinion, is one of the best leagues in the world. Competition across the board. But I feel like we've really hit a good spot. I think we're a great group, as I mentioned earlier, in response to culturally. I think we're in a good space. I think when things are gelling well in the locker room, people feel confident in what our identity is and what their roles are. And they're a good fit. They're a good fit in that space, and I think it makes the football on the pitch, on the grass, a bit easier. And for us, I just think things have come together very nicely in that space. I think we're always going to challenge the more and us wanting more as a group. But I think the group's done a fantastic job leading into here. So it's keeping that momentum, it's keeping that drive. But the identity, in my opinion, has really flourished this season and something we're very proud of.
And what's your main goal moving forward? I know most questions be like, I want to win the championship, but
yeah, of course.
Outside of that, what is your main goal moving forward with this team?
Yeah, I think for me, I think there's always something you can learn from someone. I'm a big believer in that. And, you know, the way that I coach, it doesn't suit everybody, right? And that's the reality of it. But can I inspire them in different ways? Can someone walk away and be like, I took this much from my experiences there, but it felt so strong to me because it was everything I could give, and it's everything I can give at the moment. And I always want to be able to go home, lay my head down on the pillow at night, and be able to answer the question, did I give the group everything they need, from a staff leadership perspective to also a coaching perspective in leading these players? Am I being honest? Am I being transparent in everywhere that I can? And if I can lay my head down at night and be confident in that answer, then I'm doing the right things. And not everybody flows with that, and not everyone can understand that. But I'm very hopeful, even if it's a 1% here and a 15% here and a 20% there, that I am hopeful that I'm impacting them in some fashion, and helping their game in some fashion, and also bringing my authenticity as a human being into it, and show them that we are always growing as people too, and that I do respect them as people as well. Being a former player in this league, there was times I always felt like a player and never felt like a human being and a person. And I try and keep that in my perspective as much and as often as possible. I'm not perfect. I'm going to get things wrong, but I don't fear that. I don't fear making the wrong decision. And I want the players to feel the same. I don't want them to fear making mistakes. I want them to give their effort and everything, and that's the only thing you can do. As long as you can walk away saying you gave your absolute best, that was your best. At that time, that was your best. And pushing those limits, right? Of can the best even become better? So I'm just hopeful that they walk away, you know, learning something, and whatever that capacity is and whatever percentage that is. And that I've hopefully inspired that along the way. And that's my biggest ambitions and my goals. On top of, obviously, I have big ambitions for the group. I believe we are a playoff team, and I'm excited for that as a group.
And switching gears a little bit, you talked about being able to like go home and lay your head on your pillow. What's an off day like for you?
Yeah.
You got two adorable kiddos.
Off day, huh?
Is there an off day?
No, there's no
your
such
brain
thing.
is always...
Yeah, no, there's no such thing. No, I'll be honest with you. I think last year, coming into the role for my first time as a head coach, you know, there is no off button. You just go, 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 go. And as a mother of two young children now, 4 years old and 20 months old, I needed to find a way to find an off button. And my off button is spending time with my children. So I will work the hours needed and surpass those hours needed, but once I go home, I'm home. And that's a big thing for me that I've kind of tried to actively be intentional about this year. I felt like last year I was giving so much in every way that I could to the role. Maybe being a first-time head coach, it's very normal. I'd like to say that that's the case. And I felt like I wasn't present enough at home, and thinking about my children only being 3 years old once, my oldest daughter, and then my younger one only being 15 months once. I felt like I had more to give there. And I believe you can do both. I don't believe it's 50-50. I believe it's 70-30, and then it flops around 70-30, it's 60-40. But as long as I can be present when I am there, I will do my damn best to make sure that I am present for those children, because they mean the world to me. And it also means a lot being a mother of two young girls, that I'm in a role that they can look at and go, Mom's a head coach, I could be a head coach. You know, Caitlin's a GM, I could be a GM. These females are fantastic at what they do and work hard every day. I could be that. I could be an equipment manager. They could be whatever they want to be in this world. And that's very, very big for me. When you see it, you can be it. Visibility is a massive thing. So I think for me, being able to be present, both when I'm at work, being fully in my role, and when I'm at home, I'm fully in my role, with the exception that, of course, I'm going to have to answer in certain occasions that just call for an answer. But you can do both. And I'm a firm believer in that.
I love that. And then my last question, what's your message to the fans or even the would-be fans, people who have not been to a racing game yet for some reason?
Yeah.
And then the loyalists, what's your message to them?
Yeah, look, thank you for the support. I mean, the support means all the difference. They call it, the 12th fan for a reason, don't they? There's 11 players on the pitch, there's players on the bench. There's a staff there. Everything that we can feel in reference to how it feels specifically to play at home, when we can have that energy and that energy is for us, it's very difficult to play against, and it's very much so hypes the group up. And it just brings a different dimension. We want people to not only fear playing us, but fear playing us at home. So the support's been fantastic. We would love more of it. So please tell your cousins, your sisters, your brothers, whoever you'd like to tell to come out, check us out, come watch a game. These women are incredible. They're incredible at what they do. They give everything they can to make this city proud. And that's all we're here to do. We want to work hard and be prideful in what we do and make the city as proud as possible. So come support us, come be loud for us. The energy is felt on the field. It makes you run that extra yard. It makes me coach a little bit more intensely because you feel like the city's behind you, and that's something you can't explain. And I want the away team to fear that and fear what that feels like when they come here.
Love it. Thank you.
Yes, of course. Thank you.